I'm Ben Keene. I am the first AC.
I'm Nolan Tony. I'm the second AC.
I'm Maddox Mosby, grip/gaff and ADR technician.
And I'm Isaiah Wallace, the DP, editor, colorist, DIT, and equipment manager.
As the first AC, I set up the camera, make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be, whether that's putting it on a gimbal, a tripod, or like anything handheld. I also make sure everything is in focus with a follow focus, and also changing lenses and assisting Isaiah with whatever he needs.
As a second AC, I pretty much assist the first AC with anything that he needs, but on top of that, I also keep track of most of the shots. I'm usually the one taking care of the slate, which is there, so the editor knows what scene we're on, what shot we're on. I also manage which shots were, good, which ones were usable, which ones weren't, and I also just help with general setup.
As a grip and gaff, a big part of it is just helping this guy Isaiah, whatever his vision is, to come to life. So may that be putting a flag on a C-SAN or setting up a mini aperture, like however he wants. My job is just to help set up the lighting and make the storytelling visually come to life. And as an ADR technician, a lot of that is just once we get to ADR, I'll be involved with editing the dialogue and scenes that might need replacement.
Okay, so on set, that's pretty much equipment managing, which is what it sounds like it is, getting equipment to and from set safely because it's really expensive, and if something goes bad, that is bad. DPing is figuring out the shots, the entire visual of the film, and shooting it in as little takes as physically possible on the equipment side of things. I don't control the actors, but I try to make things not go wrong. I yell at these guys right here, favorite part of the job, and DIT is making sure that footage is safe, because holy crap, if we drove 2 hours somewhere, 2 hours back, and the footage is gone, that would be bad.
What was your guys' favorite dolly shot?
The one we were talking about earlier was really cool.
Okay,
With
yeah,
the,
I guess that's one. The one we shot yesterday, probably. It's the car reveal when it comes out from behind a tree. We have smoke covering the car, and as it's going, the wind takes the smoke away and reveals the car while they're stumbling away from it. Super cool shot. Do you know how hard it is to get a crashed car? Because like most of the time, most of the places you call junkyards and stuff, they're there for two things. One, to take a crashed car off your hands, or two, to sell you individual working parts off of crash cars they already have. The number of people we called and said, oh, you have 1,000 crash cars, can we use one? And they go fly a kite, you can't take my car, because they think it's a liability or something, is crazy. I thought it wouldn't be that hard, but it was, so that's why we ended up driving 2 hours away to find a guy that's willing.
Also, pulling focus on a phone is so annoying and hard because on a gimbal we can't put a follow focus on it, so we had I don't even know how we wired it, but pulling focus on a little dial on the side of your phone that's about yay big is stupidly hard.
Well, and the actual follow focus wasn't working, so we were already using the gimbal, and the DJI comes with its own follow focus that you have to use from the app. So he's back there in the corner trying to focus like that. I thought it was pretty fun.
I did not.
I know.
I feel like the only challenges the overall film had was just finding locations. The car scenes, just because it's so hard to control like lighting within the cars, especially the one because it had to be later in the day, so we were kind of on a time crunch. So I would definitely say any of like interior locations that were very much like cars and stuff like that, I would say that was difficulty lighting.
All lighting was hard because it's a film that takes place at 7:42 supposedly, which is like right in the in-between where it's like kind of light outside, kind of not. And that changes fast, right? You can't just film through that whole time. And we were shooting in buildings with massive windows, like a hospital environment. So we would show up early while it's still light outside and wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. And then we had to shoot, and then it would get way too dark, and it was a whole thing.
There was also another day with our first car scene. These two weren't here, but it was the day we had the car rig. It wasn't very hard for me because I just set up a camera, then sat in my car while they went and filmed. But it was probably hard because Isaiah had the big iCan on his lap, and you couldn't really do anything besides sit there.
Do you guys have any memorable scenes that you filmed?
Well,
This
there
is-
was one scene where we were filming someone and they were like passing out, and the way we did it
Yeah,
was
that's what I was gonna say.
me and my fellow grip on the set, like we were both holding the tripod and we had to like bring it down whilst he was falling to match it, and that was like probably one of my favorite things I did on set. I really liked filming that. That was fun.
Cool snorri cam shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the day we showed up to film like a check-in scene in Emmons. It was a completely different environment than we were filming it before, but they have a roundabout right there. We filmed everything way ahead of schedule, and we walked out and it was still daytime because it was all interior. There were no windows. We didn't have to wait for it to get dark. That was beautiful.
I probably second that just because also there was wheelchairs that I just wheeled around the whole time pretty much while we weren't shooting, and I had a lot of fun.
We had
personally.
wheelchair races.
We did.
Well, not we, you guys.
Yeah.
The actors.
The actors did, yeah. They did good.
I liked, in this original script, I liked that it was different. The original script was completely outside, which I didn't like from a shooting perspective, but I thought, okay, well, what other film has been completely filmed outside, like in the woods? And even after we changed it, it was a hospital location and then still woods for the crash. And I thought that was just a different feel from everything else. It wasn't in someone's apartment or someone's house or whatever. It's all in a completely different area. I thought that was pretty cool.
So what drew me to my position in particular is a future goal of mine is to become a director of photography. And so I figured being a grip slots gaffer would give me very good hands-on experience with that and working alongside the DP for his artistic vision for the film. And I feel like working alongside Isaiah, I've learned a lot, so much more about how to properly light in a scene, may that be interior or exterior, and I feel like I picked up so much on the set, and that's what drew me to my position, and I feel like I got a lot out of it.
For me, I'm gonna be honest, I find kind of like all aspects of roles like on set to be like fascinating. So I kind of just told Ben, like, give me what you want, give me what you need, and I think I'm happy with the choice he gave me, honestly. Yeah.
My goal is also to become a DP at some point, so pretty much I just wanted anything with the camera, and I feel like I got like one of the closest without actually being a DP. So that's pretty much why I chose that, and I had a lot of fun just doing anything with the camera.
If you could change one thing about the entire production process of the film, what would it be?
I'm gonna go first. Not as many dolly shots. No hate to Isaiah, but it's just
Wherever
not my
he may be.
wherever he may be. It's just not my shooting style, and every once in a while you just gotta put a camera on a tripod.
Yeah, it would probably be, the original film would have been easier because the original script was 11:42, not 7:42. So we would have just been able to shoot when it was dark out. Everything would have lined up. It would have looked great. But then we looked at the story and was like, okay, why are they doing this at almost midnight? That doesn't make any sense. So then we bumped it back to an evening thing, which story-wise makes sense and visually is hard to work with.
I like Maddox's comment about the time thing. There were a lot of, I'm gonna be honest, there were like quite a few times where I was like sitting there, kind of just thinking to myself, should I be doing something right now? This is my second year in Radiance. I gripped last year for Alien Behavior.
This is my first time ever on Radiance. I didn't know anything about it until I was in Ben's cinema and lighting class that semester, and he was like, you guys should sign up for this. And I was like, okay, I will. And I ended up actually loving it. I'm gonna do it again. But this isn't my first time making a film. I have made a lot of stuff with my friends, just odds and ends projects and pretty much all that.
This is also my first year in Radiance, and I mean, I've made like short films with friends and stuff before, but I would say this is the first time I've ever made like something to this magnitude where there's a whole proper crew and everything like that. So I've never like worked on a film set of this magnitude before.
And it's also my first year in Radiance. By far not the first time making a short film, but is in terms of me not having to take every role. I know I have like 4 or 5 roles, but they're pretty evenly spread out through production and post-production, and I'm not having to do everything on set, which is nice. Again, I yell at these people, which is awesome. I love getting to do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it makes things happen a lot easier. There are a few throughout the film kind of heart-sinking moments that you don't necessarily kind of expect. They're a little bit out of left field. I don't want to call them random, but they're a little bit out of left field. I hope people can relate to the characters a little bit. It's not an out of this world idea. It's not some sort of crazy sci-fi film with spaceships and whatnot. It's something that could happen for the most part to
I mean, I think it's a
anyone
little
of
out of
us.
this world. I'll be real.
Huh?
Never
But
mind.
it's like the reality of having finite time.
Yeah.
You should make the most of every day while you're still here. I feel like that just applies to everyone in every life situation. We never have enough time for everything.
I mean, I just hope people liked it. I hope people like it. We worked pretty hard on it, I'd say.